We're gonna start the recording.
It can hear us?
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost ready.
Okay. Ready?
Almost. I guess so.
Yes, so, well, we're here now. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tech Talks, episode 12, I believe. And I'm Victor Matthews, here with Julie.
Sorry.
And today is actually going to be more of a entertainment kind of day. So we're going to be going over games, movies. There is actually something that I will say that I was just working on actually. That's more tech related. Is Windows. I just reinstalled Windows on this machine that we're using to stream this. And you know how it prompts you all the time that when you're, well, you probably don't know, but when you're installing Windows, it always asks, like, you know, to sign in with a Microsoft account. Oftentimes when you get a new computer, it'll ask you if you want to sign in with the Microsoft account onto
I've never
Windows.
heard this.
Since Windows 10 has come out, this is like a big thing that they're doing. I think it was probably in Windows 8, but people pretend Windows 8 doesn't exist. When Windows 10 came out, they started linking your account to a Microsoft account, and you could sign in and sign up for Windows once you get a new computer. Now, what I learned recently is you don't actually need to have a new email associated with Microsoft in order to do this. You can use your previous Gmail account, or I even use the business account, and it still works. You just that ends up becoming your username, and you just sign in. It links with the email.
That's nice.
And yeah, so you don't actually need a new email account for your Microsoft computer. You can be using your same Gmail, Yahoo, any account that you have. So then I decided to try it, and I thought it was pretty nice because that allows Microsoft to be more flexible, so that more people can try these features, because they do have a lot of features. Like they have that built-in calendar, the built-in email thing, and not Outlook, which is a whole separate system. Windows 10 has built-in stuff, and so I started trying it out, and it's actually pretty cool. Like you can link your phone to it to get your text messages straight to your computer. You can also do things like send your, like if you're on the web on your phone, you can send it instantly to your browser over on the computer. It's the it's Internet Explorer. So I've been testing it out. I'll let you know how it goes when it comes to using just like solely Microsoft products and getting away from the Windows, except for you have to have, wow, I said Microsoft Windows. Solely Microsoft products, getting away from the Google products, except you do need an Android or iPhone, because there are no longer any Microsoft phones, because those are pretty crap. But it kind of rolling this into the entertainment, I think next year might be kind of the year of Microsoft.
Oh, really?
Because unless something drastic happens, this is the way I'm seeing it. Windows 10 is like a good operating system now, essentially. The newest update has had problems, but it's essentially now considered a good operating system.
I'll take your word for that.
And then that's funny, it just sent a notification on the screen right now, and that's what you heard. The other thing is
It's going to be the year of Microsoft next year, you predict,
because they're doing a lot of good things, right? They're competing with G Suite with the Office 365. That's been pretty competitive. I was actually looking and seeing the only thing that Office 365 doesn't have that G Suite has, or it has it, but it has Skype, but the Google Voice system is just an overall better system, and I'm not sure how it integrates with Office 365, but essentially you get the same products between G Suite and Office 365, except Google now has Google Voice, which I think is still far better than Skype for your voice over IP systems. And then you have turned to gaming. Microsoft is working with a lot of indie developers, buying their studios essentially to get first-party Microsoft games. They are becoming more of an open company when it comes to their products, especially when it comes to gaming. They used to be pretty closed system, Xbox only titles. They didn't even share it with computer games.
Microsoft makes Xbox.
Microsoft makes Xbox, yeah. And so they didn't. But if you bought an Xbox game, like most Xbox games didn't come to a computer, right? Halo didn't come to a computer up until this year, and but now they are starting to become more open platform. Where the newest Gears of War it came out, and if you buy it on one device, like if you buy it on the computer, you can play it on the Xbox.
That is convenient. I didn't know that. Yeah.
They're also working together with Switch, where the Xbox Live will count as your online subscription. So if you have Xbox Live, you can connect it with your Switch account. You can it's essentially incorporating Switch into its ecosystem. And then also with the cross-play, they started. I think the most famous one they started with was Minecraft, with the crossplay between Switch and Xbox and PC and all those things.
I'll talk to you more later about that, because if we can crossplay Minecraft, I don't know why we are still not. Oh, because you need the paid online live thing.
You need the server though. That's the problem, is that you need the server.
That's why.
For the crossplay.
And I don't think we'll play it enough to make it worth paying for the server at that price. Like, we might play once a month, but there are also months that go by and we don't play. So paying a monthly fee just...
You can start and stop it whenever.
Yeah, but I don't want to have to decide I want to play and then go through the hassle of subscribing again. It's...
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Like, it depends on how many people are playing. If we have like a group of people that are playing on the Minecraft server...
Yeah, we did leave that Eric's one friend hanging.
Yeah. Well,
he like came and he made a whole bunch of stuff, and then we haven't kept up with... That
server is down. Server, yeah. Yep. That was, I think, Jeremy's buddy, actually. I don't think that was Eric's buddy.
I lose track.
Yeah, alright, so... Yeah, they're doing the crossplay. Back to Microsoft and the year of Microsoft. They're doing crossplay. Another big thing in the gaming world is this cloud service, or cloud services. Google right now is big into the cloud service with the Google Drive, G Suite all being in the cloud, and they're also coming out with the video games area of.
Go on.
Stadia, Google Stadia. That's how Google is getting into the video game business. Is it's all streaming.
So Stadia is the platform similar to Steam, right?
Not exactly. So it's they're what they're trying to do is everything is on the cloud. You don't have...
Oh, that's how it was different. Yeah. And they want you to not have the game downloaded, so you then have to stream it, which means you have to have good internet and not be paying per usage, basically. You have to have also
Yeah.
high-speed internet, which
You need high-speed internet. You need and yeah, you
a
buy
lot
the
of
games
problems.
individually, but this is the Google's thing, and I'm not too keen on it.
Google's or Microsoft?
That's Google's thing.
Oh, Google has Stadia?
Google has Stadia.
Oh, see, but okay, coming from a rural area,
Yeah.
this is just not going to work for most rural areas because of the way the internet works. Or doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so
And
it's just implausible.
it seemed that Microsoft was going to go that kind of route with the Xbox SAD. You remember when we talked about the Xbox SAD?
It was so sad, yeah.
The all digital Xbox where you don't have any discs, you just download everything.
Yeah.
And but it looks like the next generation of is kind of being leaked as the next generation Xbox, and they did announce some things. The leaking is saying that they're actually going to be working more for frame rate for this next generation of game consoles.
Okay. I imagine that visual process people like you will appreciate that.
Yeah, because a big problem with the old generations were they always focused on making the graphics look beautiful, and the sacrifice was that the frame rate was really bad. It was oftentimes they had to have blur to try to hide how bad the frame rate was, because even sometimes they wouldn't even run at a flat 30 frames per second. But when you're playing high intensity games, you kind of actually want a higher frame rate, close to 60 frames per second. So from what the leaks are sounding like, it sounds like they are working on having a more frame rate focused console, and they have announced that their console will be backwards compatible.
Nice.
And B, that they're going to work on making it so that you can use your console as your cloud streaming platform. So if you were away, you could use your Xbox as your streaming platform, like Stadia has.
You mean if you took your Xbox with you when you traveled? You leave your Xbox at home, and from a remote location,
you can stream games to your phone, laptop, whatever.
So does the Xbox then always have to be on, though?
Xbox would have to either always be on or have a Wake on LAN system in place.
Are we getting to...
Oh, okay. So
are we done? I don't mean to shift gears.
So the year of Xbox, or Microsoft, it looks like they're doing a lot of good things in the business world, the cloud computing world, and the gaming world. And they're hitting up all different fronts. They're fighting Google. They're fighting Sony.
Fighting, or you mean competing?
Competing, fighting,
okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
And it seems like their products are doing pretty well. Oh, and they're also competing against Amazon when it comes to cloud services, because Amazon has cloud web services to host things, and then Microsoft has Microsoft Azure, which is another cloud hosting service.
I think we're getting to it.
Yeah. So that's Microsoft, and that's leading into the gaming and entertainment stuff. We are also, the other things today is there is the movie It, Chapter 2, and we have our review of it. And
yeah.
And then there was also Nintendo Direct had a announcement video that we're gonna go through, because I think you like the Switch. That's like one of the few platforms that you have a lot of liking for the games that are coming to. So I thought you'd be interested in checking this out.
Fair enough.
So It Chapter 2.
Is that where we are?
Yes.
Okay. You made it sound a little bit like our review has been pre-thought about.
It isn't.
It has not been.
No.
But it was good. And
Uh-oh.
Problems.
Yeah. One. Sorry.
It's on again.
Yeah. I guess I have to adjust. I
The
reinstalled Windows on here, and the sleep is going, so I have to turn off this. Anyways, continue with your.
Of what I can remember now, because
Yeah.
we saw it a few weeks ago now. Overall, I did think it was really good. I really liked how they sprinkled in humor so that there was a definite release of tension that made those intense moments all the more intense. And not to spoil anything, just that the horrors that they had were horrific in the best way. They were fantastic, I thought.
I did, yeah. The Pennywise still very good. The actor that does Pennywise, really good. The adults, they played their roles really well. The scares definitely were like they're not jump scary. They're more of like, if that was real, I would be terrified.
CGI has come a long way.
Yeah, they definitely have done that. And the basically the only kind of part that I didn't like was near the end.
Don't spoil.
I'm not spoiling
Okay.
it, but like near the end, it does falter a little bit. I think
you didn't like the.
yeah, I think that
I
the
thought it was
grand
fine.
the grand battle for the most part was good. If you watched the 80s miniseries or read the book, you understand that the end of this kind of is a little weird, no matter how you're gonna do it.
I thought it was a fine ending.
But after the final battle, but before the epilogue was also a really good. Just after the final battle, the way it's all resolved, I was not a fan of.
the execution of the whole thing was very good.
Yeah.
Yes. Not really anything I can think specifically that I would change myself.
Just that.
I know
Yeah,
you're
just that one bit for me. But everything else, Bill Hader was kind of the standout from this. He like when we saw it early, and they had the all over Twitter that the day that they were doing the showings, the pre-screenings,
Yeah.
all over Twitter they were talking about Bill Hader, like,
And he's got the most established name, I would think, from the cast. But besides that, even if you hadn't heard of Bill Hader beforehand, he did do a great job of weaving the comedy in there and really, really hitting the notes with it.
yeah. And overall I think it was satisfying. And
I thought, sorry to interrupt, but I thought that the music and the audio was also really well done. Sometimes I feel like horror movies focus either too much on the graphics and they just kind of forget about the soundtrack or something along those lines, but that didn't feel like the case with this one. It was a pretty solid of that genre, coming from someone that's not particularly into horror or whatever.
It did feel long. That's all this thing. It did feel longer than it really was, and I think it was because they did have there was a lot of world building. Even though there was a whole movie of backstory, they did a lot more backstory, which was good. It helped.
That's what this. Yeah.
It helped make the
Rounding
characters.
things out.
Yeah, it helped make the characters transition better from kids to adults, and overall, definitely worth the watch. The two parts all together, I'd say, were definitely better than the 80s version. Even though there was some good stuff in the 80s version too.
There was one scene in this one though that flashed me back to Harry Potter. Do you know which scene I mean?
I don't know.
I don't think this would be considered a spoiler. But do you remember in the first movie the kids like cut into the kid's stomach?
Oh.
And then there was like a flash of color along those lines, and it just that makes me think of the Harry Potter book where he's carving into his hand, not really the blood is coming from his hands and it etches onto his skin.
But yeah, I recommend. we definitely recommend seeing it.
It was worth the watch.
And then now we have Nintendo Direct.
All right, so tell me all about it.
So Nintendo Direct is kind of Nintendo's, I don't know, semi-monthly or 3 months maybe semi-annually. They don't really have a strict schedule. But it's a video announcement that they do.
Oh, okay. I thought this was a paid service, and you're like, they're not strict. That would have been much different.
No, it's a video announcement of the games that they're coming out in the next
so one
months.
of these just happened.
One of these just happened yesterday.
And what did they not announce?
And they announced some things that we already know, some new things, as some DLCs, but we'll just get into it right here.
Yeah. Oh.
So, if you do not already know what this is Overwatch. The Blizzard game is coming to Switch.
Okay.
And it's a fun, action-oriented, you haven't played Team Fortress or anything. It's essentially a first-person shooter with a bunch of characters with unique
abilities and skill
unique
set?
abilities, kind of like Dota-esque characters, but a first-person shooter. And you just and it's a team fight where you shoot the other team.
Okay, team fight. Okay, how big of teams?
I think it's 4v4 or 6v6 or 8v8. One of those two.
Okay.
Or one of those
All right. What else?
Going forward.
Hello everyone. I'll be your guide for today's Nintendo Direct.
This
I'm
is
Shinya Takahashi. And that was, of course, the latest on Nintendo's get into our.
So then we have Luigi's Mansion. They're telling you more about the game Luigi's Mansion. You haven't played the old Luigi's Mansion.
Click and point?
Nope. You essentially play Luigi and you run. You have like this hotel. Mostly it's in this kind of 2D/3D perspective, like it's a. And then you go and you hunt ghosts throughout the mansion, and then boss fights and things like that. And they're just talking about how it's multi-themed, like each level of the hotel is a different theme. And then they also go into talking about there's a 8-player mode. Up onto, you can even play 8 players on one screen.
Everybody bring your Switch!
And you can just play little battles with each other.
It looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
Great party game, I bet.
Yeah, it looks like that's gonna be kind of the party game. I think that might even outdo Mario Party.
Get a load of this new free-to-start Kirby game.
Now this is interesting. They're talking about a free-to-start.
Oh, but then pay to play afterwards?
Yeah, it seems to be like a kind of a hybrid MMO kind of style where you start and then you do quests and then you quest together with 4 players and do it. It's not my thing, but some people might think it's
What are MMOs again?
MMOs is mass multiplayer online game.
Okay.
So it's like you're constantly playing online with 4 other people, fighting bosses and things like that.
Consistent friends you need to have then.
And then you could also play 4-player.
You can all play at the same time.
Yeah,
Can you play
local.
without all 4?
I'm
Not
not sure if you could do solo. I mean, they're not advertising it at all. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
And they announced that this one's coming out today, which is yesterday. It kind of is like the little twist. Usually they're like it's coming out in the next few months.
Oh.
fans of the Mana series
Magic of Mana, or wow, man, I don't remember what it's called. Trials of Mana, that's what it is. They are doing a remake from the 2D it showed earlier. It was the 2-dimensional.
Oh, like that's the old one?
Yeah, now they're remaking it 3D. And I believe
person slasher?
it's a JRPG, a Japanese RPG style game.
As each character advances, they'll have the step into the light.
And I can't remember if this was this. I don't think this was the. I think the Xenoblade Chronicles they're going to be announcing later. You could actually switch between 2D or 3D depending on how you want to play it. If you want the old classic version, because they're doing a Xenoblade version update for 3D too.
Return of the Obra Dinn.
This is interesting concept where this boat washes up ashore. This is 1800s. It disappeared 30 years ago, and now washes up the shore with the entire crew gone. And you have like this device that allows you to go back, like to see the moments in time at this specific point, to try to put together what's happening. So it's kind of like a detective story, but there's a bit of like time manipulation.
But it does look interesting. Obra Dinn, huh?
Yep, here it comes. Return of the Obra Dinn.
Obra Dinn. Must be the ship's name. Oh, Little Town Hero is the next one. Never leave town.
This one's interesting. They're better at explaining this than I am.
One day, there suddenly appeared a giant monster. To defend the townspeople, one boy named Axe will stand up to face it. And the only weapons he'll need are ideas. But to win one of these battles, you must know when to use them. Strategy is everything if there's any hope to win. During battle, you can move around to garner support from townspeople. Take advantage to gain the advantage. Seize every opportunity to protect your town in this new RPG from Game Freak. And almost all the music in the game was composed by Undertale creator Toby Fox.
Looks like a little interesting.
It's cute.
Yeah.
I like that it's the strategy based, and that's more my kind of game. Some of the fighter slashers.
Banjo-Kazooie, they said, is coming to Super Smash Bros. And there's not really much to that outside of it's coming out today. Or yesterday, when it was. But Banjo-Kazooie, if you know Banjo-Kazooie. And then they're also announcing some characters from the old, whatever this was. That was
from '91. Okay.
No, the Neo Geo. That's right. There's characters from a game from the Neo Geo that they're bringing into the Super Smash Bros. Fatal Fury characters. That's what it is.
Oh.
They're also saying that there's going to be more fighters coming as separate DLC. Link to the Awaken. Link's Awakening. Right, yeah, there you go. Another Legend of Zelda that's being remade. It was one of the older Zelda Game Boy Advance games, I believe, that is being remade into this new 3D kind of model. I think it looks good. I think it looks really good.
Yeah.
And if you like Zelda games, and then they're also creating make your own dungeon, and then you can share your dungeons, which is kind of cool. Like that kind of replayability, I really like that kind of stuff.
You know the hero's might from an S. Echoes of an elusive.
And then there's another Dragon Quest that's being remade for Switch. Oh, this is the one that is 2D. You could play as 3D, or you could play as the classic 2D, how it was originally made, but they re-upped it too.
And experience new character-focused
So, like if you like Dragon Quest, probably won't be disappointed in that. It's another JRPG.
Tokyo. The worlds of the Fire Emblem series and Atlas games have crossed paths.
It's like a Fire Emblem mix game. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but I don't know.
The entertainment business. Together,
You're like entertainers that are trying to save the world through your entertainment.
Releases on Welcome back to where it all begins.
Deadly Premonition is a kind of detective game, but things go off the wall bonkers. And they said the Deadly Premonition 1 is coming to Switch, and then Deadly Premonition 2 is being made, or gonna be released later.
So they're making the Deadly Premonition 2 right now. Released
Divinity
2020.
Original Sin 2 rose on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, we never finished that, did we?
We never finished it.
Can we now port it over to Switch?
Well, that's the crazy thing. This is the only game that they've announced that's a remake that has you can cross save between your Steam game.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say it's the only one you can.
No, this is actually, you can play 4-player Switches, and you can cross save between your computer and your Switch.
I'm gonna have to relearn all my spells when we go back to it. Well, that's pretty exciting, though.
That is epic. Like there's no other game that has cross saves between Switch and, which gives me hope for
nice.
Warframe, which I hope
would
give me.
Okay.
But Divinity Original Sin, obviously, amazing masterpiece of a game. So that's just exciting. Bethesda is bringing Doom 64. If you like Doom, hopefully it doesn't come out. The last time Bethesda brought out a game for Switch, it had you needed a Bethesda account to play it, and then they took that away because people were like, "That's the dumbest thing ever." So so hopefully they don't do the same thing on this one. But Doom 64 for Switch, another classic game.
Introducing a brand new IP from developer Hi-Res Studios.
Lock and load, prepare to go rogue. What is that?
Rogue Company. I am not exactly sure. I don't remember this one.
You'll face challenges which will require your specialized abilities and tools to combat the infamous organization Jackal.
Kind of seems like a XCOM style game.
So strategy.
Oh no,
turn-based?
no, it's a third-person shooter game.
Okay.
Interesting. I totally missed this last time I watched it. I was not paying attention. Interesting.
Pokemon Sword and
Pokemon
Sword and Shield. They're talking about the new things in Pokemon. You can customize your look. Pokemon has not had a lot of customizability, but I guess now they're going all out, which is fun. I mean, I like Pokemon. I'd get Pokemon anyways, so. Then you have a Pokemon camp, where you can just hang out and play with your little Pokemon. You can also visit other trainers' camps.
Cute.
And hang out with their Pokemon.
Instead of them just being in like a catalog, you actually get to see them as if they're actual.
Yeah.
That's nice. Oh, and you can use a cat tickler. Curry on rice.
You can
feed them?
Yeah, create food like Brock did.
Well.
And you can come up with recipes and find like good recipes, and
ultimately depends on which berries and
Pokemon's gone
Okay.
it has gotten a lot of features over a time. There's Pokemon talent shows.
Oh my
and-
gosh, sausage curry.
there are more than 100 types. And each one you cook up will be... Huh? What's that? Discovered in the Gala region.
And there's a new Pokemon that they're announcing, the Poltergeist that hides in a coffee cup.
A teapot?
A teapot, yeah. And then another new Pokemon they announced who has a special ability that when he surfs or digs, he has a catch, and then when he gets hit, he just spits it at him.
Cope missile. Okay.
Which is
You know,
interesting.
I'm not sure Pokemon needed new Pokemon, but they are cute.
It's crazy because I think they did a better job coming out with different alterations of the same Pokemon instead of coming out with thousands of Pokemon. Because now they're at the point where they can't actually have all the Pokemon. The national Pokedex is no longer in the game. You can only have the regional Pokedex, and you can't actually have all the Pokemon in a single game anymore.
Why? Because there's so many?
Because there's
Yeah.
so many, and they have to make the animations for all of them.
That makes
And so this whole system so now you're starting to see like different regional Pokemon. So it's the same Pokemon but different types. So like Raticate, which was like a normal type, now there's like a dark Raticate in like the Aloha region.
That makes sense. And then if they could just make it so that they're all available
But
in a different form in each place.
They're trying to play both sides right now. They're adding still 150 new Pokemon to this one, and they're getting rid of the national dex, and you're like, you don't see what the problem is there.
Adding 150 more is a lot.
I can't remember if it's 150. Usually it's about 90 to 150
Oh, yeah.
new Pokemon
Okay.
when they do that kind of stuff. And now they're saying that a bunch of Super Nintendo
Super
games,
Tennis, Super Mario Kart, Super lots of them.
the Super Nintendo system, they're porting a lot of games over to Switch, but you can only buy them if you have a Switch Online account, which is, I guess, just getting more people to. I don't know if they're free or if you have to buy them. I think they might have mentioned that they're free, but I think somewhere else I heard that you had to buy them. They're also selling the Super Nintendo controller, a wireless controller for the Switch,
Oh.
just for nostalgia's sake. But I mean, that's kind of cool.
I'm sure there are people who will enjoy it. The end?
Not quite.
Tetris.
There's Tetris. This is.
Ooh.
I actually didn't know what Tetris 99 was. I've heard about it, but this is actually like
We
a
might need to get
mass
that.
multiplayer Tetris game.
Really?
Yeah.
Multiplayer in the same.
Essentially, you're competing against other Tetrisers
Huh.
to be the last Tetris standing.
It's such a classic game. I would like that on my Switch. Can we just go home and download that today?
I think so.
Cool.
Maybe. Let's see what it says here.
A DLC Wave 2. I just want Tetris.
And you can
We'll figure it out.
local multiplayer. Oh, available
Alright.
tomorrow. So
That's
yeah.
today.
And then you can get the version available
Oh,
on
tomorrow.
the 6th.
Alright.
You get the physical copy.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Mario Olympics.
Hmm.
Essentially like Mario Party, but Olympic events. And then they have some classic Olympic events. This is for the Tokyo 2020
Oh.
Olympics. Demo for the Daemon Machina. It's essentially Monster Hunter, but what is it? Mechasalt Monster Hunter, essentially.
I don't know what a Mechasalt is.
A Mechasalt is like a suit of armor, but it's a suit of, like, you know, Gundam. Have you heard of Gundam?
Nope.
Ah, man. Essentially, it's a big
It's
robot
just-
that you control from the inside.
Fair enough.
Star Wars coming out with a classic Star Wars Jedi Knight. This was back in like the 90s. but for some reason they're porting it over to Switch.
Sorry.
And I mean, it's just really cool.
Yeah,
Jedi Outcast.
I'm sure.
And then they're coming out with Witcher 3 for Switch. Assassin's Creed 4 is coming to Switch along with Assassin's Creed Rebels. If you
Those
like,
are
those are really good.
exciting.
Another Dauntless, another Monster Hunter style game, but this is like a free to play, and especially since Monster Hunter World isn't on Switch, this is a good alternative. A bunch of smaller games that they're announcing: Just Dance,
Grid Auto Sport,
Farming Simulator, Wrath of the White Witch, NBA 2K20, Call of Cthulhu, The Outer Worlds, Devil May Cry, Vampire.
The end? They have more?
Yep, they have.
My goodness, they really are bringing a whole lot.
Yeah, that was like a big announcement, and this was like a whole in-depth announcement of Animal Crossing, where you're traveling to an island. So, finishing this off,
Where were we?
we are looking at Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing is coming to Nintendo Switch. That's right.
Yeah, and it's crafting game. You kind of build up your island habitat that you have.
And don't you build a relationship with your animal neighbors?
Yep, you build a relationship with your animal neighbors. So as time goes on, you get.
It looks pretty cute. Like, I'm pretty sure I would enjoy this silly game.
Mhm.
Weeds.
Yeah,
Look,
you can sell your weeds. You kind of, if you clean up the area and keep it looking nice, you get money essentially to get more stuff.
Gardening and stuff.
And you have gardening. You have seasons. You can.
It's too cute.
It is a very cute game. You can move, transplant, adjust how it looks.
I'm not.
There's different climates, different weathers, different seasons.
Aww. She's
And
even
it-
got purple hair.
And this is all based off of your real-time clock. So like, it's the
so it's winter when
seasons-
it's winter.
Yeah. At least that's how it was on the Nintendo DS. And then you can have your friends visit you. You can have up to 8 people visit your island.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of. That's a party.
Mm-hmm. And then yeah, you have your relationships with your little neighbors.
Apples in the winter. The winter-covered trees still have apples.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, how did the tune? Please give it a
And now we
There's
have
more.
more Xenoblade remake definitive edition.
which on in plan for
The end.
That is the end there.
All right.
So
So now we know what's coming to the Switch per this update.
yep, looks cool. I am pretty excited for.
It's a lot of selection.
Yeah, I mean
And the cross-platform, that'll be good.
for Divinity.
Well, Divinity, yes, but
Yeah.
I mean, it would be cool for Minecraft, and I imagine eventually we will probably, potentially,
Oh yeah.
do that some. But
Yeah, I think it'll be good. So thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you did, feel free to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. On the podcast, I think there's usually a subscription on Apple or
just come find us again.
yeah, wherever you are. Just
TechTalks, right?
yeah, Tech Talks with Victor Matthews. Have a
You'll
great
find
one,
it.
guys.